What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stock. Today we're going to talk to you about Disney. I want to go over what has been coming out from the company itself, what the data points are saying, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Disney right now is down 1.08%. And you do have a fair amount of volume. So 2.2 million shares being traded within the first about 2 hours of the trading day. 8.6 is the average. So there's two things that ultimately did come out as far as PR. One is a board member change, so that is going to be effective beginning of 2025, so January 2nd, 2025. So it looks like the new successor is going to be Gordman, and they're currently a executive chairman at Morgan Stanley. But I think the more shocking point is this right here, how they're going to be naming a new CEO in early 2026. So it's kind of interesting. Obviously, Iger's gone back and forth for the most part, but generally, I think he was very welcome. So I know that was just more of a short-term thing. So this isn't like surprising news, but as a byproduct, this is actually causing Disney to be one of the most trending stocks based on here. So a lot of people are talking about it. And then at the same time, a lot of volume is getting in. So once again, that's why I wanted to do this video, but I'm going to go over all the data points and everything that you need to know. As of right now, though, I'll give you an overview of shorts. Not to say Disney is a squeeze play. I just like to bring this up more for kind of a tool to use. Shorts are increasing 209,000 shares today. So by them increasing, kind of validates today's pullback. You also have to factor in that the broader market is also kind of pulling back at the same time. You see a lot of the major indexes at the top, all very red. But right now, 1.17% of the free float is being shorted. So like I said, Disney is not a squeeze play. Looking at options, 4.58 million in calls, 1.92 million in puts. So dollar value wise, it's up there, but for comparing it to the norm for Disney, it is rather low. But 52% of all the options being done today are bearish. And of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be roughly around that in excess of $100. And a lot of the technicals actually are kind of mimicking the exact same thing. The bears, though, are anticipating for it to kind of be sub roughly around $95 to $93, at least for this week. Nothing really crazy outside of that, but quickly popping over to IBKR. Because of today's news, there hasn't been any new analyst ratings. So last one was done 5 days ago. Initiated coverage, $95 price target, Piper Sandler, Matthew, who has a 40% success rating. So pretty crappy in that regard. Aside from that, 6 days ago, $120, UBS, John, who has a 60% success rating. So a little bit better for that. But regardless, as a consensus of all the ratings, $112.13 is that price target, and that does represent a 16.55% upside. And so like I said, options are kind of pointing for it to be in excess of $100, and that's actually what the Elliott Wave technicals are projecting. So as it stands, $93.80 is that pivot point. For as long as it is above that, then it is anticipated to get between that $102 and $104 range. So I think in general, the technicals are still fairly optimistic despite today's pullback. So of the ALMA, Super Trend 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages, Stochastic RSI, and MACD. So MACD is relatively bullish. Stochastic RSI is rather somewhat overbought. So that is probably one of the attributing factors in combination with the kind of fluff news, if that makes sense, why Disney is going down. Currently, it's just flirting with that ALMA right now, but generally, a lot of the data points are very, very optimistic on Disney. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. On a side note, if you are wanting a lot of this information to be free, analyst ratings, forecasts, ownership, everything under the sun, take a look at IBKR for this to be completely free. I have a link to them in the description below and also the comments. But quickly going back over to some of the data points. Right now, these are all the transactions that are occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So you're not really seeing that much buying as much as, well, a lot of people would really kind of anticipate. But regardless, a good about 70% of the transactions being done on the secondary market are buys. So one was for 106, the other one was for 100 and 116. So you're not seeing kind of similar to the 17th, so it is rather low. but it is what it is. As far as this right now, with it at 96 and change, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 93.45 is going to be the next strong support. And of course, that is pretty much that pivot point for the Elliott Wave technicals. $97.64 is that next strong resistance / target, followed by $100.24 and then 143. So in my opinion, I think just in combination, just the broader market and this somewhat fluffish news that did come out, it is what it is. I think it's just due for a little bit more of a pullback, but as this pullback does really kind of reset the technicals, then it'll give more life to a secondary run to that $102 range. So in my opinion, I think Disney right now is a very good buy, especially as right now you have a lot of people watching for interest rates, and so far right now a 85% likelihood for the November 7th meeting is kind of anticipated for that 25. And like I've kind of alluded to under different channels and stuff like that, I think with rate cuts coming down the pipeline and a continuation of very good data, this is where you could see a very big rotation out of money markets into equities, really propelling Disney higher. But we'll just have to wait and see what does come. So let me know your thoughts. Do you own Disney? Are you selling? What's your viewpoint on Disney? And do you think that 102 or in excess of 102 is realistic or not? Two final things I want to share with you. Take advantage of this promo. It does give you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a very kick-ass deal. Link to this is in the description below and also the comments. And then as well, I did launch memberships. So if you like the content, want to support the channel, you can definitely do so. Or if you want buy signals on stocks and options, then there's also a tier for that. With all that said, appreciate all of you guys watching.